My name's Dustin.
I'm Rosie.
And we're here at Illumaebly Studios in Fremont with Rishi Jethi. And we are here to talk about acting stuff and stepping out of our studio for the first time in a long time. So we're gonna ask some questions. It's a really pleasure to meet you. Can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself and Illumaebly?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Rishi. Really excited to be on Monday Mix-Up with Dustin and Rosie. I'm the founder and CEO of Illumaebly. We make short films anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes that all teach life lessons. So it sounds crazy, like it sounds like an after-school special, but we're made for all audiences. There's not anyone that can't watch our videos. You can jump right in and understand what's going on. They're all independent episodes from each other. There's no continuing storylines. So yeah, we're on YouTube, Facebook, all social platforms.
And creating a new story every single time, not one is like episode one of it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of writing.
And I think that the storylines, the topics are really good. It keeps my attention, and both Dustin and I have been actors in the studio, and that's how we became familiar with it, and that's why we felt it was important to bring it to one of our segments, or maybe even two, depending on how long we go.
I think one of the most difficult things about being an actor, and there's a lot of them, and especially an actor in a smaller market, including the Bay Area, is that you feel this drive and this need to make it a little bit and then leave, right? Like a lot of people want to go to LA or any of these other larger markets where lots of content is being made.
Yeah.
But when you really love where you live and you want to be in a creative space in this area, it can be kind of difficult. So I wanted to say thank you so much for creating a place in our place to be able to continue to do this. I mean, it's a paid model. You guys this is a business and you pay your actors, which is amazing. We do a lot of work for free. We do a lot of work for connection and a lot of work for getting end work and content, but pay doesn't always go with those things. So tell us a little bit about what made you decide to create a model here in Fremont.
Yeah. So we had started back in COVID time, back when like the world was basically shut down.
Yeah.
At least in the Bay Area, it felt more shut down than most places.
Yeah.
And this was around end of 2020. I just gotten I was just watching a bunch of Netflix with my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. So yeah, it's not like we broke up.
Got married.
Yeah.
We just got married. Woo!
We were watching a bunch of Netflix. Stranger Things had a new season. All these things were happening, and I was like, everyone's at home. This is the only opportunity right now in the world. Like this situation sucks, but everyone is at home. Like if I hit up high school friends, they're gonna be at home. And I was like, we're consuming so much content, and right now at that point in time, we were just doing editorial BuzzFeed style content.
Sure.
And we were like, if we make a video series, I think it could really pop off right now, especially because the world is like in a sad place. Like you're just seeing deaths on the news, just numbers rising. So we're like, we should put out some positivity, get away from the politics, get away from the COVID and all this stuff. And let's see if we can get a bunch of people together at a park. Let's pay them. Let's give them food. And let's
food.
Food. Like that was big.
It's very helpful. We work for food too.
Yeah. And this is back when our videos were super short. Like this video was like 4 minutes long, and it was about a homeless guy getting kicked off of a bench by some guy because he was like, I want to sit here with my girlfriend, like leave, like you guys are ruining the city. Yeah. So we had just put out a Facebook post to get everyone together, just on a Facebook Bay Area community theater and film group. And we said, hey, we're looking for anyone, like a woman actor, a male actor, and like 2 other like background actors, fully paid. Like we'll give Subway, like we'll be outdoors, so like no need to worry about like catching anything, hopefully.
Yeah, and they get fed.
And they got fed. Yeah. So we had like really good
plus.
Yeah, we had a good Subway sandwiches for everybody that day. It was a fun time. Like I remember because Subway messed up the first order and we got double the sandwiches because of that. So. Sandwiches home.
And they're like, yes, I don't have to buy dinner.
Yeah.
But what a great thing to do during 2020, because it was such an unpredictable time.
Yeah.
But you have so much time at home because nobody was doing anything.
Well, there was a lot of talk during that time in lots of different industries about take advantage of this unknown period of time where everybody is at home, everybody is watching content in different forms and exploring different types of media. I have a lot of friends who became really big in their industries, especially getting followers because of that time. And you got a lot of captive audience. Eventually, when the world went back to normal, less people were consuming technology that way. So if you got in on it and took advantage of that situation, for positive gains.
Yeah.
And that's a huge win right there. And a lot of people didn't do that. So very cool.
Yeah, I'd say it was like we didn't know what we were doing at the time too. We didn't come in with film backgrounds. I was always into writing and like creative stuff.
Nice.
But I was never able to figure out a way to like actually make a career out of it until like COVID kind of made us think like out of the box.
Yeah.
And then our first video did about 300,000 views on Facebook. It
Wow.
just took off. People were just sharing it left and right. And then we were filming very infrequently at the time. It was like once a month. But every month we just kept doing it. We're like, okay, without fail, we're gonna do one video every month. And then at some point we're like, okay, this can be something that we can do almost every day. And that's when we went into my parents' house and just wrecked the place and did like 200 videos like almost every day.
Bless your parents.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yeah.
And how many videos did you do?
In my parents' house, yeah, it was like anywhere from 170 to 200.
Wow.
Yeah. Their floor is like still like healing from like all the stuff that we've dropped
And who do you use who's your staff? How did you find who works with you?
Yeah. So a lot of it in the beginning and even now too was a lot of like word of mouth referrals.
Yeah.
We got connected to like film communities at like San Jose State, San Francisco State, lots of local schools, even like the junior colleges here too, like Ohlone, De Anza.
Yeah.
We got pretty connected with students who went there.
Yeah.
And then people who were graduating that were looking to like, make a career out of this.
Sure.
We brought them in as freelancers to start, and then once we did enough, it was like, okay, this is your full-time gig.
Yeah.
And actually, we traditionally found like our latest head DP, who's been with us since like video 170. Actually, we found him through LinkedIn. Like that was
Really?
Yeah. I never find anyone through LinkedIn except like I found Drew
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, and
I was gonna say, is this Drew?
Yeah, this is Drew. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And he moved from Wisconsin, and he moved to Fremont. I was just searching like videographers Fremont, and then I saw like Wisconsin was written. I was like, oh, maybe he's just visiting. There's no way he's staying in Fremont, and he wants to be a videographer. But he was working a remote editing job at the time, and then
Interesting.
it turned out he lived like 2 streets down from my parents.
Wow.
But we found this out like after he moved in. We had moved to an apartment too.
Yeah.
So we had no idea until after he started working with us.
Yeah, he's really a good person to work with. He's just always calm
Yeah.
and just positive. I find when I
From
work with him.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's really
Wisconsin.
funny. And here in Fremont.
Yeah.
It can be done.
It can be. Yeah.
And so you went to school at UC Berkeley.
Yes.
And what did you study? And then what made you want to use what you studied to then kind of pivot, I think, into this?
Yeah.
Or were you always a creative even before going to school?
I was always on the creative side. I loved writing, writing for fun, reading. But I was always like kind of trying to like, computer science was something that I was good at,
Sure.
but it was not something where I was like, okay, I only want to just do computer science.
Yeah.
I wanted to find a way where I could kind of combine all the stuff together.
Yeah.
And computer science, I still use it a lot today. Like all the tools that we use on the tech side, the apps that we build, the editing workflows, all that is because of like the computer science background that I have. But like for the initial stories, and before we even had any infrastructure, it just came out with like I just kept writing stuff, writing scripts, learning like how to write a good screenplay, seeing like there's this book that I also read, like Save the Cat, that like really inspired me. Like, okay, like this is how you make a protagonist a likable character. So before I actually even started building tech, I first just dove into like the manual, like, okay, this is writing and this is how like things work in film. And then after that, I was like, okay, let's see how tech can kind of broaden everything. Like, how can it push it out to big audiences?
Interesting. And that's not an unusual thing for somebody to be a computer science person and a creative writer.
I meet a lot of people, especially in the Bay Area, which is most of my experience in working in this industry, that have those and are parlaying them together. People, first of all, often will take a successful background in tech and use that type of resources financially to fundraise or have the connections for people who want to see that and then invest in them. Or use that technology mindset to understand all the technology that it takes to make any of this type. I mean, we're surrounded by technology in this studio. We have lighting, we have cameras, we have, the building and all of the tech from recording and the editing and the distribution. I mean, it's all really together. And if you can understand those two things simultaneously, it's like a superpower, because you seem to have cracked the code to stay in an area where you want to live, which isn't the Los Angeles or New York City, the places that we
Right.
think that we have to go to do it. And then we're starting to see more people push back on that model, and we're seeing more communities in the Bay Area and beyond that are wanting to bolster film and production coming here. So do you find yourself, or were you taking a stand to be like, someone's got to start and plant our flag here, we're doing it, we're making this tech here? What was the idea to stay in Fremont?
Yeah. I mean, initially too, like when we had gotten started, even we were always getting like the doubts in our head too, like, oh, maybe if we did this in LA, it'd be easier. But when we started here, like we were able to get people to like come out and like actually act in the videos. There already was a community. It wasn't as big as LA, but the community existed, and I felt like they needed to have something like this where they can go and consistently come in any day of the week and be able to put their work out there.
It's consistently coming every day of the week.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to you're not taking your staff to go film something else for someone else. You're creating here every week.
This is a place to show up to do work.
3 to 4 times a week, and it's consistent.
I mean, our call sheets out in the wild are often like here one day and here another day, and it's never. And that's an exciting part about it. But there's a huge expense in that, having to travel a lot, and you paying your actors and paying all of your people, it makes them want to come back and do a good job. And so your content gets elevated over and over and over again, and you get that real positive feedback loop from your subscribers.
And I also find that when I was been here with the actors is that I know them from other sets, so it's again that whole family feeling. And then the other thing I want to touch on is when I've worked here as an actor, it's such a positive feeling. Everybody is they know what they're doing, they're professional, they're and it's a very family feeling environment. You never feel like, if you're a background person for that day, you feel like a background. You can't sit at the same table as the union people. It's not, so it's you feel like you're all the same, and I like that.
Yeah, we like our whole thing is like no ego, like anyone can do anything. Like even like when it comes to our crew, like no one is above anyone else. There's no hierarchy. Like the DP will be working extensively with the PAs. The PAs will be working like on makeup with actors and like wardrobe stuff. So like it's everyone's like at the same like playing field here, and that's been the biggest thing for us. Like we want to be able to show people like there's a legitimate way like to have a career. You don't have like there's a lot of commercial gigs, I guess. Like if you look at all the gigs that are in the Bay, like majority of them are like doing a commercial, non-speaking roles. And we were like, we wanted to give people opportunities that they would never have here otherwise.
And that's the other point. Exactly. There's lines. There are a lot of lines. And it's a great practice. It's as if you're in film school as an actor. Because exactly.
Sometimes it's crazy. We give a script like the day before. It's like, okay, I got to memorize really like fast on the go.
But you learn how to do it, and it works, and there's not a lot of pressure, negative pressure from the crew at all. How do you get your actors?
So the biggest way in the beginning, at least to get the initial pool, and now it's come to the point where it's like all the actors that we work with are like 1 degree separated from the next actor. But in the beginning, it was oftentimes like I said, for the first video we just posted in the Facebook group, that's how we got our initial batch of maybe 30 actors. And then after some time, like getting referrals from them too and attending like local theater plays around the Bay, we also expanded onto backstage. And then backstage, we saw a decent amount of really good talent. Issue is a lot of people who are on backstage in the Bay Area just don't check it after they've created their profiles. So like I was able to find like people with like headshots and stuff, and then I would go to their Instagram pages and just start DMing. And that's a really good strategy. Like people will be like, who is this guy? Like your boy Bublu just messaging me.
That's funny.
But that strategy really worked. And then also we work with Wild Dog Productions. Maryland. I think Maryland was the one who had connected us, Rosie. And they're great. They've been making short films or feature-length films in the Bay Area for like 20 years or like 15 years. And they're very connected. So they've been sending a lot of people that they've worked with in the past to us as well.
There's a lot of ways to connect to these types of work situations, these types of creative outlets, and we had talked about this in other episodes. Sometimes you can feel like everybody wants money from you. You know, you want a subscription on this website, it's going to cost you $250 a year. You want a subscription on this website, it's going to cost you this much. And everyone tells you that you need to be involved in all of them in order to be more seen. But we've also talked about you need to be simple and get on Facebook groups, word of mouth, chat with your friends, because there's so much information out there that people want to share, because it's really exciting when you get an opportunity like this. And so if you're saying that you started looking for people on Facebook, you don't have to have any money to look for jobs on Facebook. You don't have to have any money to join Facebook groups. You don't have to have, to get connected to start. We had talked about this with headshots as well. You can spend all the money that you want, and you can buy all the newest and latest gear that you want, but you don't have to do that to get started. And so this is a prime example of that. And you're finding wonderful talent, and you're building talent up, and those people are gonna walk away and share who you are and those connections, because this is an ecosystem of education. I think I've always thought, or at least I've thought for a long time, that once you learn information, it's important to share it, because if you just hold on to it, it's like stealing, and other people benefit. And when you lift up people around you, everything just gets better. Do you find that to be true?
Very, we totally live by that as well. We love to just be open with everything we do, and we want to see everyone grow, everyone that we work with. We want to see actors be able to leave their day jobs if they are working a day job and be able to do this full time and build a brand of their own too. So even our directors, our writers, we always take chances with things that don't even necessarily fit the Illumaebly mold all the time.
I agree.
So you've given yourself a little bit of latitude to make mistakes. And to try things that may or may not work. And so, you don't feel as scared, and you have a lot of support behind you.
It's never a thing where it's like, oh, we know it's going to make sense. But it's like, okay, it's worth a shot. It's kind of like a collaborative effort, everything that we do.
I mean, it's hard to imagine that you weren't scared to get this process rolling and think oh my gosh, I can't compete with the big people who are in the big places when I just want to be here doing it. So there's a lot of fear in that.
There are lots of times where I feel imposter syndrome, and you can go online, or you can see other production companies that are doing things at a scale that's 100 times better or bigger, not necessarily better, but just they have so much more resources. And the way I look at it is you have to look at your own experience, only compare yourself to yourself.
Exactly.
And you look at your own self a year ago or a few months ago, and use that as okay, this is what I want to be better than, instead of oh, I see Tyler Perry Studios or a competitive YouTube channel to our channel doing big things. Sometimes you're oh wow, I wish I had that, but instead look at what you have and be resourceful.
Exactly. Exactly, and you have to grow in appropriate steps, I think.
And stay a little bit in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane. Don't compare yourself so much.
That's what makes you special too, right? If you try to be someone else, then you're not going to be you're just going to be putting out inauthentic stuff, and that doesn't scale in the long run. You won't be able to do episode after episode and make it a process that you can just repeat every day. If you're being someone that you're not.